everybody! Stars here with some more Tales into Reverie. In our last episode, we finally learned about who Lapis really is. That she's actually an AI program, or the singular AI that was born from, I guess, the spirit veins crossing the entire continents? That one still kind of baffles me. Needless to say, Lapis is actually Elysium, or at least she's the administrator of it. She actually came in contact with Ian Grimwood when she was still on the computer, and by talking with him, she learned about humanity and just how good they could be. However, something happened. And not only was she booted from the program, she was listed as a threat. And somebody else somehow took over the program. Unfortunately, nobody knows who that is. However, before being kicked, she did ask Ian to help her in her next phase, as she knew that she would somehow be deleted. And just as she predicted, somebody did try to delete her, or get rid of her entirely, and take over the program. So she transferred her intelligence to the doll that we now know as Lapis, and gave the information of, and more or less came up with a plan of what to do now that she was, well, movable. She had left instructions to, I think she said Ian or someone else, to transfer this doll form of her to Rufus. And by extension, she was actually the client of whom Swin and Nadia had been contacted by prior. And the whole reason why she asked to be sent to Rufus was because out of everyone she knew he was the only one who wasn't afraid to necessarily take the most direct path. So now that we know that, it's time to find out exactly who has taken over the system. Unfortunately, that route is now locked to us. But before we ended her route, we found out that whatever was jamming the orbital network and contact information before was now released. Now I suspect it's got something to do with Llyods, hence why we're here. So we're going to go through Llyods' route to see exactly how they achieved this, and just what kind of role they play in all of this. Remember that if you do like what you see, to comment, like, and subscribe. It helps the channel, and it helps me letting me know that what I'm doing is actually something correct. Because I am still in the experimental phase, and I probably will be for quite a bit. But enough with all the chatter, let's begin. So, Llyods, what are you and your friends up to now? As I suspect, we're probably going to be figuring out how to get the orbital informations, or whatever's jamming them, out of the way. You know, I do wonder if all three of our groups are going to meet outside of the Reverie Corridor, and not just there. Be interesting to see how they all interact together.
Second Lieutenant Seeker checking in.
Oh, welcome back, though. Llyods?
So you're here too, Fran.
I'm glad you're all right. And Kia, Tio, Wazzy too. Thank goodness you're all okay. After what happened at the ceremony, I thought...
Yeah, admittedly, that did look pretty bad on Llyods' part, didn't it?
Fran.
It's good to see you again. We're sorry for worrying you. Don't be silly. You all being here is more than enough for me. But, who are your friends?
Sorry for dropping in unannounced.
You guys have been camping out here this entire time? Man.
Is that who I think it is?
Llyods, you're all right.
Hey, Franz. Kate. It's good to see you too, Inspector Donovan. Raymond?
Even the Vice Commissioner is out here. You're tougher than you look.
I could say the same about you.
Well, good to see you're in high spirits.
It really is.
The CPD's missed you, Llyods and team.
Well, we're back. Detective Bannings, reporting for duty.
Lloyd's team fled the scene after what happened at the military factory before the EDF could learn of the incident. Well, then led them to the point of the outer region of the Knox Forest Road. Although the area was near the police academy, which had been reportedly been occupied, the Crossbelt Police Department and its associates had managed to find a gap in their foes' defenses, which led them to setting up an encampment. Good for them. The wired connection is given a clear signal. Awesome! So we're kind of setting up our own little base of operations where communication between our parties is at least somewhat achievable. Great. Let's finish setting everything up, Sharon. Gladly, my lady. I see what you're planning. Because they're stopping us from accessing the orbital network wirelessly, you've come up with a workaround by using a combination of old wired communications and Arcus units. Exactly. We may be able to contact our Monica this way too. Especially since we have you, Alyssa, Tita, and Fran with us. I'll show you what a skilled operator can do. Teal needs our help, so let's give it all out. Tio needs our help, so let's give it all our... Tio needs our help, so let's give it our all, Kia. You betcha, Fran. But we are going to have to deal with that. And, of course, as was hinted with Rufus's, they are. Well, they seem to have everything under control. Yeah, I'm sure they'll get the job done. I'm glad you were all able to make it out of the city. That couldn't have been easy. There were more CGF members with you originally, right? Yes. Commander Bales took initial charge of police force when we were thrown into chaos by the attack. Randy, First Lieutenant Marielle, Dudley, and Chief Sergi were with us too, and again, I apologize if I am slaughtering these guys' nicknames. But while we were helping the civilians evacuate, we came under attack again, and we were separated from the others. We've been gathering information that might help us rendezvous with them. That's how we caught wind of the trouble at the military factory, which led your excellent timing of saving our backsides. I'll say, I don't know what we would have done had you not shown up. It does concern me that we don't have contact with Randy and the others, but I know they can handle themselves. Same here. They're capable of looking after each other, so I'm willing to bet they're okay. Sounds like your group managed to gather a lot of useful info at the factory, Llyods. We did. We uncovered details on the new Zober Soldats and the name of some project. Could be a red herring, though. I still don't know what to think of that simulacrum, Professor Novaris, I don't know how you say this man's name. Yes, I know they say it and everything, but I still can't do it for the life of me. Set on us. I wouldn't have believed if I hadn't seen it. Oh. The professor was talking about him like he was a failure, but he was pretty damn strong if you ask me. Thing is, he can't replicate McBurn. There's just no replicating that. I can't imagine he's the only one out there either. There's no telling who else could be impersonating a real person. Seriously? That's pretty freaky. You don't think there are any hiding among this camp, do you? I swear it wasn't me. I'm real. Real, I tell you. Bro. Here's a very clear fact. Look into their eyes. If they look lifeless and dull, then yes, one of you has in fact been possessed. Or replaced. Please calm down, sir. If we start doubting one another, we're never going to get anything done. The man's right. We might as well just throw our hands up and surrender at that point. That's exactly what the Supreme Leader asshat wants. Speaking of Rufus... What about him? Wait a minute. I just now realized that Rufus actually had life to his eyes. Uh-oh. If I'm basing it off the fact that their eyes look lifeless, then I'm kind of fucked, aren't I? Is it possible he's like Reen, where he's from the alternate dimension? Oh god, this is already giving me a headache. I need to stop theorizing like this, otherwise it's just gonna lead me down a rabbit hole of absolute pain and headache. The skill with which he occupied the city and the charisma he's shown in leading everyone all suggests he's the real Rufus. But that doesn't make any sense. I just can't imagine that everything he said was a lie. Even he isn't that much of a weasel. I beg to differ! You have our deepest thanks, Detective Lloyd Bannings. I know that look. Figure something out? I was just speculating, but I think I'm getting a little ahead of myself. We still lack evidence. Let's keep focusing on the little things in front of us first. Good call. We've got decent numbers here thanks to the police, not to mention everyone back at the village. Speaking of which, I think Tita might have figured something out. Everyone, could you come over here? We've established a connection. With who?
Hey guys,
Oh,
can you hear us?
Scarlet!
We read you loud and clear. It's good to see you all again. And I'm glad you're all right.
I'm sorry. There's always gonna be a part of me that's just gonna be nostalgically happy to see members of the original Imperial Liberation Front.
I take it the investigation into the factory went well?
Looks like quite the team you're starting to put together over there.
It's not too shabby. Good to see you're all holding up too. It's me, Ellie. I'm sorry if we made you worry. Let me echo that. It's great knowing you're okay. I feel the same way. It's a weight off my shoulders seeing you two again. I didn't expect Lloyd, Kia, and Wazzy to meet up with so many friendly faces when they set off. Excellent work, everyone. It already feels like we've made a lot of progress. That's the power of teamwork, right, Lloyd? Exactly. So, have you all made any progress on gathering info on your end? We believe so. Major Arundel is still kicking up whatever he can find as well. Now would be a good time to exchange what we know. Would you mind getting us up to speed? So, Speaker McDowell's doing a lot better? That's good news. Yes, I can't thank Cecily and the clinic staff enough for what they've done. He still needs to take it easy, though. My injury is almost fully healed, too. It shouldn't pose a problem moving forward. Shan is also helping out at the inn now. She is in much better spirits than she was before. More good news. Take it easy if you have to, Risha. You don't have to force yourself. I won't. Thank you for the concern. Hearing what happened at the hospital struck a chord with me, too. I feel as though I've lost sight of our roots as well, and I need to face up to the fact that as much as everyone else. Let's take it from the top and do it right this time. We can't afford to have any hesitations as we move forward. Well said, Ellie. Now we just need to find Randy and the SSS will be whole again. Nothing can slow us down with this many people helping us. Well, about that. Is there something I'm missing? Does this have something to do with the information you had to share? See, we managed to wrangle some info out of a few EDF goons patrolling the highway yesterday. It gave us a bit more of an idea of what they've been up to the past few days. Several of their elites are gathering in the northwest from the sound of it, for an operation to flush out the CGF and the Red Reaper. Wait, that would mean... Noe? Doesn't this sound kind of familiar? It fits with what we learned the other day. The EDF were setting up a barricade in front of the tunnel on the mountain path for some reason. That doesn't sound like a coincidence, all right. Unfortunately so. This must mean Randy and the CGF are currently holed up in Mainz, and the Ebon Defense Force has them completely surrounded. Even getting supplies into that area will be difficult. The terrain is surrounded by mountains, and there is no escape route. Luckily, Randy has experience holding that area with some of the guardsmen during the last bid for independence. But they're likely in even greater peril than before, given they'll have to account for Zelber's soldats this time around. We need to be prepared for significant casualties at the very least. This isn't sounding good, Chief. Understatement of the year there. We're in deep shit if the CGF falls to them. We can't afford to lose them if we have any hope of overthrowing the Supreme Leader. Can't we just get in touch with Mainz using the same way we contacted Harmonica? We could turn the situation around if we coordinate with one another. That much is true. But using this means of communications in an area we don't know poses too great of a risk. Our lives will be that much harder if our enemies learn of this method and put a stop to it. Good point. Lloyd? Yeah, there's not a moment to waste. We're going to their aid. Fran, pull up a map of the Mainz Mountains for me. On it. I'll round up all the information we've gathered thus far. I'll help too. What is France necessarily doing? She's just standing there behind Tio and Kia as they're basically punching away at the computer. Are you planning to go by yourself? What will that accomplish, sir? Is this your first time meeting Lloyd? Hi, my name is Lloyd, the guy who's liberated Crossbell I don't know how many times at this point. You don't have enough manpower to break through the EDF's defense and rescue them. It's too soon to be given up. If our allies have been holding them off despite being so heavily outnumbered, that means there's still hope. And now all eyes are focused on Mainz. That gives us our best chance of slipping past their defenses unnoticed. He's right, it's not impossible. Don't forget, the Ebon Defense Force is comprised of Erebonians. They won't be as familiar with Crossbell's geography as we are, even if they were stationed here before. I'm sure we can find a way to if we put our minds to it. So give us a hand, everyone. We can't give up on them. You guys, they haven't changed, have they? Well, if you're not giving up, neither will we. Damn straight. It's too early to be thrown in the towel. This had better work. Dude, if you are not comfortable, I suggest you go sit in the corner and just stay there. We'll keep gathering all the info we can and try to find a way back to you up. I wish we could drop everything and rush over to help personally, but that won't be possible. Actually, I may have a lead on something that could help our case. I'll let you know how it goes. Oh? Now you've piqued my interest. We'll trust you to follow up on that, Ellie. We can all reconvene once we've reunited with Randy. I'm sure you'll all succeed. Nothing will stop us from taking back the city, and eventually, our conceal. You can count on us backing you up too. We can't afford to leave no stone unturned now that we know the society is at work here. Which begs the question, Sharon. Are you at odds with them again? Speaking of which, the area near the border with Erebonia hasn't been fully investigated, right? We could do with paying areas like that a visit. I was thinking of making my way to St. Ursula. It would be wise to share what we've learned about the wired connection with the Foundation. For the record, my request is still ongoing. Agate Crossner. Better keep Tita safe. But this is the first and last time I will ever trust you with her. I don't need you to tell me to keep her safe. She's always safe with me. Don't worry. Good luck, Mom. I'm tempted to return to St. Ursula as well, to let everyone there know I'm alright. But by the sound of it, I should stay here. I may be needed in Mainz. We'd appreciate that. There's no telling how many people may need medical attention. Let's work together and play to our strengths. That's how we're going to rescue the others and take over the continent once more! The group then immediately sets about deciding on everyone's role for the common operation. The goal of getting past the EDF's defenses and reaching Mainz seemed impossible at first, but past experience had taught them of a route which seemed ideal for the circumstances. Llyods and Noel, with their experience working together covertly in the past, agreed to form the vanguard and go first to secure the route. Meanwhile, a number of other members decided to depart to gather information and help distract and divide the Ebon Defense Force. The next day, March 21st, Dr. Sealand and the remaining officers set up base camp at the foot of the mountain path after bidding farewell to their departing allies. Farther up the road, Llyods and Noel made their way to the infiltration point. My. Well, obviously they'd have to have experience working together like this if they've had to liberate Crossbell so many times over. At this point, I think Crossbell is safe to say they've more than earned their independence. Well, here we are. We'll have to go the rest of the way on foot. The tunnel up ahead is where the EDF has set up their perimeter. In other words, we'll have to go down the same cliffside from a few years ago to get around them. Exactly. I marked the spot on our map. Let's head there and stay alert. I do know I've said this numerous times, and I apologize. I'm going to try to make sure this is the last time I bring it up. But if it does bother anyone that I have continued to murder a character's name, despite them having voiced it, and despite people maybe spelling it out, I am somehow going to always massacre it. For one reason or another, my brain will not keep that information, and anytime I try to do it
I gotta
again...
say, Noelle, you looked real sharp on your new bike.
Darn right I did. It's a pretty fancy upgrade from the bicycle, huh? You should take a ride on one sometime. Nothing beats the feel of the wind while you're zooming down the road.
Maybe I will, but only if you show me how it's done.
Okay. I didn't want to interrupt them while they had their little moment. Oh, it's just us two. I guess I should have looked that up before I did this. I may need to go. Oh, do I already have their info? No, I do not. I'm probably going to have to go back to the corridor to get more of the battle scopes.
Engaged!
And to properly set these guys up.
Right.
Because if it's just going to be these two, God forbid there be a boss battle, because then I'll get my butt annihilated.
Battle complete. Nice job, all.
Ass shot! But yes, as I had started to say,
Got a chance.
I do apologize if I keep on slaughtering the name of characters despite them even saying them, people spelling them out. No, I'm not doing it on purpose despite what you may think. For some reason or another, I've always had this, but when I try to say someone's name, my brain will do it my way or nobody's way. And when I say that, I mean, no matter how many times people tell me, this is how you say it,
No problem.
and I say it, and I probably get it right, my brain will say,
That'll
no,
do it.
no,
I know
this
my
is
back's
not
always
right.
covered when I'm working with you.
And we will go back to, oh, I did explore this area already. Okay, I should take a moment. I'll do that in a minute. My brain will just do that. I don't know why, it's always been like that. I know this is probably the umpteenth time I said it both in recording and in stream, but I just want to really hit the nail on the head to say and confirm, and I'm going to make sure it's the last time, that no, I'm not doing this just to make people angry or mock their characters. I just genuinely have that problem, and I don't know how to solve it. Some could argue that I'm just being stubborn. I'm not. Some could say I'm refusing to reprogram my brain on how to say it, and I'm not. It's just how I am. I promise it's not intentional. But yes, with that being said, we will drop it there, because I've broken that
What a
record
bonus.
I don't know how many times. And I know I should stop, but there's always that little need to just explain myself and say, no, I'm not doing this on purpose, I promise. Damn, they got it guarded good. There they are. They're armed to the teeth with that new Soldat model, too. This must be where they're gathering all their forces like we thought. We should keep moving. Now I'm even more worried about the others. Same here. You telling me not a single soul sees you two just strutting across the ladder? We'll be able to reach the old mine shaft if we climb down here. If only we could use it to exit next to Mainz like we did a few years ago, too. If only, but that route was blocked off by a cave-in last year. Still, we can access a maintenance passageway that leads into the tunnel from there. And that will let us slip past the soldiers and soldats without being noticed. It's worth a shot. Let's do this, Noelle. Actually, I should hold off. I am actually going to take a quick minute to make sure that these guys are built to the best they can be for now, because I don't want to be caught off guard. I'm doing okay now, but I know something could happen and just completely annihilate me. So I want to give Lance. Why am I saying Lance? I want to give Llyods and Fran here, I think. Is her name Fran? I've already forgotten her name. Noelle. Don't know why I said Fran. I'm so sorry. I'm going to upgrade them to make sure that they have been given the best possible set they can get. Now then, as Llyods says, we will be right back. And we're back. It was a little longer than I thought, but it's more trying to figure out their niches. So I knew from Cold Steel 4 that Llyods here is kind of a breaker unit, which means he specializes in break damage. I don't think I have the best equipment for him at this time when it comes to quartz and whatnot, but this was the closest I could come with. I'm not sure what to give him as like the first quartz, because there's really nothing that helps with break damage. And this was the only other one I could find. Ideally, I want to make both of his Master Quartz kind of break damagey, if at all possible. But I don't know if there's more quartz, and if so, where they are, or if I've missed any. I'll figure all that in due time, I'm hoping. I'm pretty sure we will as we get closer to the game. Now, as you could see, I gave him a bit of everything here. Attack for strength, hit to make sure that, his hit rate is pretty good, and to give him that little smidge of boost when it comes to critical rate. I think if this works, and I don't know how well this would, if he can cut their defenses, that gives more damage. I like more damage. He like more damage. We all like no damage. So, yeah, I'm just trying to give him stuff that gives him more chance to inflict status afflictions, along with giving him his own little boost in strength. Now, Noelle is something I don't know how I'm supposed to build her. I'm thinking kind of the same line along with Llyods, but I don't know if that's the best build here. And since I've had such great success with status afflictions due to Nadia, which I know doesn't extend to all characters, but they feel more solid in this game than they did in prior games. I don't know if maybe I just didn't use them efficiently, which would not surprise me. It really wouldn't. I will admit that the combat in CS3 and 4 kind of threw me for a loop because they changed the system entirely. So unfortunately, I'm not quite as privy with the third and the fourth game in terms of all of the changes. And the reason why I bring that up is because a lot of the changes they made in those two games you can kind of see reflected here. And they have so many more quartz than what they used to. So trying to dig through them all is like going through a haystack looking for that one needle, or diamond in the rough if you prefer. So as of right now, they are built, they have accessories, they have everything they need to take and deal damage. I know I don't have to go out of the way as of right now because everything is okay for now. Nothing too difficult, so I think I'm good. Though if I have issues, I'll have to figure something out. I'm still I'm still on the normal mode. So they're not quite as easy as they are in the difficult mode. But that's okay. A little bit of challenge will do me good. Prepare me for the nightmare run I plan on doing with this game. Which, shout out, if you like seeing what the nightmare runs will look like on my channel, feel free to look. I've done Cold Steel 1, and I'm in the progress of Cold Steel 2, both of which are on nightmare mode. Though the first game looks like a joke compared to this game. And that's because, well, I played that game so many times that I may have min-maxed just about everything, and I understood the builds a lot easier. And I'm kind of experiencing the same thing with Cold Steel 2, which I knew would happen, and I'm okay with it because I may have made the game easier for myself, but that's fine by me because I enjoy giving that little extra oomph. And it feels rewarding when you've played through the first game, or you played through the game the first time. You get all the equipment and everything. It's basically like grinding up all your stuff, and that gives me such a happy feeling that when I play it again, and I have all that stuff, and I can still kind of, but not fully, max it out, it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside when I can just absolutely demolish my enemies. However, there was one enemy in Cold Steel 1 that I had a lot of issues with, despite the best effort I put with the builds, the quartz, everything. And it was the very last battle of the game. I'm sure some of you know exactly who I'm referring to. And I hated that fight, but it was so worth it when I finally kicked its butt. And I feel it already in my bones. Whatever the secret boss is in Cold Steel 2, I just know it's going to give me the same amount of anger and anxiety and stress as it had in the first game. And I'm kind of not looking forward to it. But I do it for 100% completion. I will do it if my life so much depends on it. I was worried we were going to come out at a bad spot. Me too, but things worked out perfectly. We managed to slip in right behind him. Now we just have to make it to Mainz. Right. But let's stay on alert as we make our way through the tunnel. Oh, you don't want to go play with the people back there? Do I need to examine? While I was there, I did happen to... Yes, I did happen to. I got all the battle scopes I could need. So we'll be all set for that for a while. And for those of you who are like, who see that shining palm as driving them crazy, just know I'm saving that towards the end when I know what characters I really want to build up. That was just the first battle, but it felt awfully fluid. I like it. I think these builds are a keeper, but of course I've got to go through a few more to just to make sure it wasn't just, you know, oh. I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's behind. Void. You should have seen the giant gaping hole back there, bro. Damn it. Archaisms. Patrol units. We need to take them out before they give our position away to the EDF. Right. Let's make this quick. Well, I'm sorry to say, but you two disappointed me. Both of you who are known to have high senses failed to notice the giant gaping hole back there. Oh yeah, I love these builds. They're so much more fluid than I thought they'd be. So many good characters in this game. Target suppressed. That should keep our location secure. A little too close for comfort. It came from the Moon Temple's direction. Why guard that path of all places? Moon Temple, you say? I was just thinking that it looks like you're back to fighting at full strength. It was a huge load off my mind seeing you back to your old self at the camp, too. I had been a little worried about you, honestly. Oh, I guess you noticed just like Wazi did. I'm sorry you had to see me like that. I didn't mean to worry you. It's alright. No one can blame you after everything you've been through the last 2 years. The citizens were expecting even more of the SSS than they were the Guardian Force after the Imperial Army invaded. Looking back, we all relied on you a little too much, myself included. Water under the bridge. I couldn't tell you when or why we became convinced that it was up to us to fix everything. It isn't as though we never had allies we could turn to. If anything, we've always been fortunate in that regard. But somehow, we and everyone else were convinced that it was up to the SSS to save Crossbell. And when we failed, everyone accepted the Supreme Leader's narrative instead. I can't pretend not to empathize with how they felt, though. I did my fair share of refusing to accept the truth during the first bid for independence. You mean when the CDF was formed?
I think it's natural for people to want something to cling to when times are at their most trying. We've lived through an era where our home has been stripped of its pride and taken advantage of over and over again. And for the longest time, we dreamed someone or something was going to come along to make things right again. For a fleeting moment a few years ago, I wanted to believe the Crossbell Defense Force was that very thing. Yet in doing so, I turned a blind eye to the sacrifices that were coming at the cost of our freedom. The people accepting the Supreme Leader as Crossbell's new ruler are no different.
I suppose you're right.
But as someone who lived through it all before, I don't believe that acceptance is what defines us as Crossbellans. What does is our resilience. The way we stand back up and dust ourselves off, no matter how often life kicks us down. It's how we kept dreaming of independence, even while under Imperial rule. Our hardships have made it so we can hold on to that ray of hope, even in the darkest of hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say, those guys didn't
couldn't
look like
agree
they
more.
did, though.
That optimism is at the core of who we are. That's more valuable than independence could ever be. And it's something we can take pride in. People may have lost sight of what makes Crossbell what it is for now. But if we can remind them again...
Exactly. If we can show them what it is that makes us Crossbellan, then I know we can take back our home. I believe that with all of my heart. Because of you. Because you opened my eyes the same exact way, Llyods.
Oh, God. I had suspected he had the same case as Reen when I saw all the girls, but Jesus Christ. I have to say it. I know many think of it the same way as I do. But holy moly, Llyods, you are the reign of Crossbell. You are surrounded by a harem of girls, all of whom are like all of whom are blushing around you and just like so convinced you two could go together, or maybe not convinced, but my God. He really is
I'm asking you to withdraw. Please.
He is just the reign of Crossbell, I'm telling you.
I know this won't keep us from coming to blows down the line, but please, at least for now.
What happened to that rock-solid resolve of yours? You say you're willing to give your life for the cause, but when it comes down to it, you can't even commit.
Oof, when was that?
The Noelle Seeker I knew was never this weak. She would stick to what she believed in and never hesitate. As you are now, even a simple detective like me could take you on in a fight. If you win, then you can arrest all of us on the spot. But if I win, Noelle, you're all mine.
Oh my.
What? What are you suggesting?
Yeah, Llyods, you are just as bad as Reen. Oh my God. I guess it's only fair to say, actually, Reen is a carbon copy of you, but for Erebonia, isn't he?
Oh, that.
My God. You boys are so goddamn oblivious.
The last part aside, you were there to tell me exactly what I needed to hear. I'll never forget that. Now it's my turn to support and help you, just the same, Llyods. So let's keep on fighting, to protect the home that's always been so dear to us.
How could I say no to that? Of course. I'm with you all the way, Noelle.
What is it with you guys and your belts always being, like, huge and not buckled?
And I promise, I won't lose my way again.
Neither of us will.
It's prevalent in Reen's design, along with Crow's. Although I suspect Reen's outfit is heavily inspired from Crow's. Ahem. Well, I think we've stood around talking for long enough. Ready to resume the mission? We're almost at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, Mainz is just up ahead. Let's hurry. Well, I'm going back. Looked at the patrol archaisms. Yeah, okay, so I can't go this way. Damn. I was kind of hoping I could. I don't know how many battles it's been now. It's been a little more than last time But oh my gosh. The adjustments I've made to their builds are so good.
That tunnel took forever.
No plopping down yet. We're almost to Mainz.
Oh, it's Mons. Yep, I'm just reading as I see it.
Here's our shot.
Oh yeah, I 100% love it. Llyods' absolute godsend ability to absolutely devastate everybody he so much as hits. I wasn't sure how I quite felt about these break builds when I first saw them appear in Cold Steel 3. But you know something? They're not bad. It's kind of why I kind of avoided Yuna, not gonna lie. I remember not using her. I think I used Kurt, Reen,
No problem.
and Altina, but I don't... And Muse, perhaps? Maybe it was Ash. But I never used Yuna. It was always everybody else. And the minute Crow became available in Cold Steel 4, well, I don't think surprises anybody when I say he was in my party immediately. You know what this place sort of reminds me of? The mines that were outside of, Alyssa's hometown. You know when we met Crow and the others? Well, Crow in disguise with Scarlet and,
Now's our chance.
Vulcan. It was Vulcan. I don't know why my brain decided to pull a blank on that. Yeah, this place 100% reminds me of the mines that were outside of Rhineford. Ah, that brings back such fond memories. It was at that point in the first game, things started to really ramp up in terms of my interest department. Though it wasn't till like the very last 5 minutes that I was like, you know what?
You've got a chance.
This game is pretty damn good. And I didn't realize how much I loved that game till I had played it about 3 times over before deciding, you know what? I'm gonna stream this game even if I've already 100%ed it. And for those of you who are curious of why did I LP that game if I've already completed it and really had nothing left to show, the reason why I did that is for context. Because I knew I would be playing more of these games in the future. And I wanted to give my viewers context, especially those who hadn't seen it before or played the game before. I didn't want to hop into new games like this here and know everything, but my viewers knew nothing. I know I'm kind of rushing the process by recording this and then uploading it, but by that point, you have decided to spoil yourself if you haven't already played it, the series that I mean. I can finally see Mons in the distance. Let's hope Randy and the others are still safe and sound. Agreed, we should hurry. That came from behind us. And what is that sound? It sounds disgusting. Sounds like a... Okay, now it sounds like feet, but it sounded like something else there for a few minutes. Enemy sighted. Oh, shit. How'd they find... Wait. Did the archaisms actually reach out to you guys? What is Bannon's doing here? How did they slip past our defenses? That's for us to know and you to figure out. This isn't looking good. We're heavily outnumbered. I have no idea how you managed to get past our perimeter, but your luck just ran out. We're taking you both in. Surrender quietly, unless you want to be crushed like that town. They're planning to attack Mons? We have to stop them here and now. Right. We won't let them set foot in Mons. You fools. What do you hope to accomplish with just the two of you? Capture them. Oh, my brave, stupid fool. You're in for a surprise.
Bring it!
Do I need to? No? Okay, I don't need to scan any of you, so you're kind of already screwed. So I don't have a reason to hold back.
They're open!
Now! I'm going in. An opening!
There! Why, you...
Payback now!
Gotcha!
Wow, you guys kind of suck.
You won't let me
Impossible. Let's go! Now! It's over! Impossible.
Engage!
Impossible.
Battle complete. Remaining on high alert.
Impossible, they say. I say, no, not at all. The numbers game really is catching up. It's too late to back down now. We can't let them get to Mons. You're stubborn, I'll give you that much. But this has gone on long enough. It's time to finish. Hello, Randy.
Damn it! It's the Red Reaper! Return fire!
I love that cocky little smirk he
really
just had. Or at least it looked it.
Get the hell out of here.
Ooh.
Ambush failed. Fall back.
It's funny how one man scares the
That was
whole
a close
crowd
call.
away.
Thanks, for the assist, Randy.
I'll say. We really owe you. You're not hurt, are you?
Randy?
Oh.
You damn idiots! What were you thinking coming here with just the two of you? You saw how many there were. How reckless can you be?
Randy, you worked with Reen. You've also worked with Llyods in the past. Are you honestly surprised?
That's my bad. I didn't mean to make you worry about us. This wasn't exactly a spur-of-the-moment thing. We're on a mission that was carefully planned with the others. Besides, did you really think we wouldn't come when we learned you were here?
Listen, you... Okay, you got me there. Guess that makes me a big fat hypocrite, huh? I've probably been worrying you guys sick. So let me just say this, Llyods, Noelle, it's damn good to see your faces.
It's so good to see you again, Randy. Not gonna lie, I liked this guy in Cold Steel 3. He was so sweet, and he just had such a cute face. Kinda still does.
Same to you, partner.
Randy.
Randy, are you alright?
Toa!
Aren't those two?
Machias? Oh my god!
Huh. I didn't expect we'd run into people from Thor's here, too.
So you've been taking shelter with the CGF. Speaking of which, where are the first lieutenant and commander?
About that. The thing is...
Let's all return to town for now. We can explain the situation there.
Holy fuck, Machias, it's so good to see you and Toa. Llyods then followed the instructions Teal left with him to establish the wired communications. They were then able to make contact with their allies on standby at the foot of the mountain path. The EDF, briefly withdrawn from the tunnel, created an opportunity for the two sides to reunite. And so, everyone was able to safely reach Mainz. Now we're just missing Angelica and George. It feels like we've met every other store student. Hey, this is a quaint little town. Why was she looking sadly at the inn? What happened? Uh-oh. Seriously injured, huh? She sustained several gunshot wounds to the chest, and not all of them passed through. She's in critical condition, I'm afraid. I know, but you're a super famous doctor. Can't you do something? All I have at my disposal is a first aid kit. That's not going to be enough here. She needs to be operated on at a hospital, but it would be too risky to transport her using the route we took to get here. Right now, all I can do is to give her stopgap treatment to keep her with us. The rest is in the goddess's hands. Stopgap? What the fuck is that? I can't believe this is happening. Of course, I'm not going to be sitting idly. I have my pride as a doctor. I'll do everything I can. I just want you to understand that that isn't much. Try and put your faith in her for now. Alright. Thanks, Doc. Hang in there, Muriel. It won't fail you. We'll do everything we can, too. Damn. I had no idea she was in such bad shape. Apparently, she was covering for civilians during the escape from the city when she was shot. Yeah, that idiot. She's always been one for putting others before herself. As for the commander, Sonia, I think. Her unit was separated from ours, too. They're currently holed up in the Moon Temple, but we can't contact them while our communications are being jammed. That's a name that brings back a lot of memories. So that's what those patrol archaisms fought in the tunnel we're keeping an eye on. Yeah, they sent troops to attack it a few times now, much like they have here. That location is even harder to get supplies to than here, too. There's not going to be any communications cables into the temple, for that matter. I don't know how much longer they'll be able to hold out. No doubt. We really don't have much time left. We've had our hands full just keeping the town safe as it is, so we haven't been able to do anything for them. Now that you and the other cops are here, though, we might have a fighting chance. I hate to ask so much of you when you only just got here, but there's nothing to apologize for. We came to help out to begin with. Yeah, and it doesn't seem like we have a moment to waste. So let's go save them and make it safe enough to get First Lieutenant Muriel to the hospital. We'll all do what we can to help plan the operation. I'll go double check our ammunition and supply stores. Thanks, guys. With you in our corner, we've got this on lock. Go gather everyone together. We need to get to work on a plan to get through the tunnel safe and save the main unit. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. It's so good seeing Toa. Lloyd. Yeah, I know. Randy. All the members of the police force and Crossbell Guardian Force who could attend gathered to plot out the upcoming operation. Wow, they have a small force. How they've been holding everybody back. Then again, Toa is absolutely a mad lad when it comes to planning things. And Randy is no slouch either. As they had been hoping to do this for quite some time, it didn't take long until a plan came together. With everyone well aware that they had little time to waste, they chose to sprint into action that very day. Ooh. And so it was that soon after noon when the operation scheduled to begin in 2 hours. Lloyd and friends set about making their final preparations in town. I kind of like the theme to this place. It's kind of comforting. How are your injuries, by the way? Huh? Oh, yeah. Can't complain. Not with what she's going through. You don't know what it meant to me to hear you guys were all right. If something happened to you too, I don't know what I would have done. Aw, Randy. Muriel's gonna be fine. You've got to believe. So let's get ourselves ready so we can greet her again with a smile. It might be worth it to flesh out a few details with Toa and Machias beforehand too. Sure thing. Oh. The mirror again. That must mean the third and final seal on that thing is finally gone. Does that mean I can finally go to the next level? Yep, it looks it. That is something I will be doing in a later episode, not right now. I think something just changed. You okay, Lloyd? Yeah, I'm fine. Can't say the same about that sense of forbidding I just got, though. Okay, when you put it that way, now I'm really curious. Maybe I should go look into it later. Now I'm very curious of what that actually entails.